Hey, hello. We are live. It's the Green Umbrella Live Lunch, as always. Oh my God, I've been stressing so much. Like the one time we don't need any technical issues, they all happened. I've been so excited about this live this week. It's been absolutely crazy. And it's been such a busy week as well. But I'm delighted on so many levels because I've got big news to share. We will come on to that. The news is coming, I promise. I could see people in the comments already. So Sean, thank you. Thank you so much for showing up and tuning in. And yeah, sorry about the delay. David, yes, I am keeping you in suspense. But I always make it about me. We will circle back to that, of course, as we always do. But yeah, like one of the other reasons I'm so excited is I've got my wonderful, wonderful friends joining me today. Okay, so why have I brought everyone in? Hi, Rebecca over on LinkedIn. Good to see you. Why have I brought these guys here? Well, obviously marketing's my thing, and everyone knows that I'm all about social media and that kind of stuff and the work that I do. And what's happened over the last 10 years I've been doing this is that I'm seeing more and more that, why don't people show up the way they should? Why is it that people don't want to be on the video, don't want to be in the photo? Why is it they don't want to put their voice out there and stand forward and be the leader and be heard? And it all comes down to mindset. And there's loads of different things here. So I have 3 amazing people. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then kind of in their introductions, it will make sense why they're here, apart from one, which I will then explain a little bit more on. Okay, so Jen, introduce yourself first.
Hi, so I'm Jen Roblin. I have been struggling with anxiety for many, many years, and I was able to turn that around and use it to my advantage. And I did that mainly through the corporate world and borrowing other people's belief in myself until I was able to have that belief within me. So that's me, and I'm part of this team. Really, really super excited to share what we're going to tell you about. And yeah, it's just amazing working with this incredible bunch.
Cool. So yeah, Jen is our anxiety coach, right? And then I think this is the thing for a lot of us, it's like standing up and speaking. Like loads of people have anxiety around this. They get stressed out if I put that post out on social media, are people going to judge me? And that creates a lot of anxiety. And I know, Jen, you work with people with all sorts of issues that come down to actually dealing with anxiety.
Totally.
So really looking forward to getting into that. Lewis, my fellow MD.
Hello there.
So the reason I brought you in is because you've got such a cool story, but you're not very loud about your story. So come on, tell us.
Wow. So my name's Lewis Dutson. I am a business owner in Plymouth, and the way I got my business was completely different to many people. So my dad started a cleaning business in 1985, and unfortunately, when I was 23 years old, he passed away from skin cancer. And all of a sudden, I became the managing director of a business that had 40 employees, £500,000 turnover, and clients that had £1 million businesses. And there was me, couldn't drive, no business experience, and I had to take this on, and that was my decision. And the reason I continued that, and I'm still doing it to this day, is that my biggest value that I found through that is legacy. And I want to continue my dad's legacy and make him proud. But also, what am I going to leave behind? What are people going to say about me when I'm gone? What have I achieved? What are my successes? And that's why I'm here today at this point, because I've gone through all of that, the hardship, the grief, the taking on the business, to this point where I'm with this amazing team and helping people through their struggles as well.
Amazing. And then there's this other random dude on here as well, right? Come on, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm the random dude, everyone. How are we doing? If some of you don't know me, my name is Imran. I've been in the field of personal development for at least God knows how many decades now. I'm getting too old to remember. But my journey and story is based on not being good enough and not feeling worthy probably most of my life. And that took me down a path of discovery, a quest to find who I was, what was happening in this mind of mine that was making up a lot of the things and keeping me stuck in suffering. But more importantly, seeing the people around me staying in suffering for so long, and then learning a series of tools to understand how impactful and powerful they can be to make a difference in someone else's life and someone else's world. And I grew up thinking the world is what I thought it was. But it took me a time to realize that there's a world beyond my thinking. And once I opened that and unraveled that, I dealt with my challenges. I renewed my identity. I realigned with my beliefs and values, and I went forward and I helped so many other people along the way. So this is why I'm here, to join this fabulous team in making a difference to people's lives, not just in their minds, but also in their hearts and also in their communities. That's why we're all here.
So you've all mentioned team. You've all referred to us as a team. So this is the exciting thing. Okay, let me fill everyone in. So last September, I went on holiday. That's what I describe it. This is how I spend my holidays, okay? So a holiday for me was that I went on this 6-day course. This guy I knew, Imran, had put together this thing, and I was like, yeah, I'll sign up, I'll go. It'll be good, show some support. Jen will be there, Lewis is going to, well, you know, it'll be like, we're going to have some fun, we're going to learn some stuff. And it was, and Imran will explain what it is and all of that in a minute, but you know, very linked to what Imran's just been talking about. It's all around understanding how people behave, why we behave the way we do, how we can deal with some of these behaviors as well. Well, that's going to make me a better leader. It's going to make me a better mother. It's going to make me a better human, perhaps, you know, as if I could get any better. So I went on these 6 days thinking, like, you know, I'm there really to learn some stuff, but to hang out with people that I love and all that kind of stuff. And these 6 days just were absolutely life-changing in terms of the things that I then understood about myself, my drivers, my behaviours, and then came out of that and started to affect the lives of people around me. And yes, I think I became one of those annoying people that started to, you know, try and affect people's lives, whether they wanted it or not. But often, yeah, you know, just was spreading the love. But between September and now, there have been lots of conversations. The four of us have just become closer and closer and closer. And now we are a team, the four of us. So this is the thing, this little 6-day thing that I went on, I am now really, really proud and excited to be telling the world that I'm partnering with Team Success Psychology. I'm partnering with in all things ECT and the Intervention Academy and all this amazing stuff. And now I've given all the names away. Imran, come on, tell people what it actually is.
The 6-day, listen, the 6-day event, this was something, wow. What it really is the greatest set of tools available for human change. That's what it really is. It's actually a discovery of philosophy, psychology, intuition, and heart. And it's the fusion of all of them coming together. But more importantly, what is it for me? Well, it's the tools that I should have learned when I was younger. It's the tools and strategies that most of us should have had so that we could get through suffering, pain, emotional damage that we cause ourselves, influence, understanding of who we really are. It was like a manual for the mind. Most of us believed in other things apart from ourselves. Most of us have educated in everything else but ourselves, and we spent a long time doing it. So what this really is a fusion of everything that I have needed, everything that I'd wanted, everything I wish someone helped me with when I was younger, when I was alone, when I had this much self-worth, when I had this much belief in myself, when I had this little value for who I was, what I was able to do, achieve, become, be. And those tools, what they've done is they've taken me away from me, the version, the identity that was diminished and downright, taken that away, and it's allowed me to build up a new identity based on the truth, based on my capabilities, based on my beliefs, based on what I value, based on what I want to become and be instead. And that's what I was able to do with those tools. So that fusion of them, and you guys have all experienced it. You've had 6 days of unraveling, a layer at a time, right? It's like peeling the onion, right? It's a layer at a time. You take one off, there's another one, and you get to the core. And when you get to the heart of the problem, there is no problem. And you guys have seen that throughout 6 days. So what it really is taking the best of the best from NLP. And of course, I've worked with so many prominent people within the NLP world where I'm able to look at what really works and what doesn't. Forget what doesn't, take what does. EMDR, hypnosis, theta healing, personal development frameworks, the best of the best that make the actual difference. This is what we've done with this, and this is what ECT really is.
I just love it so much. I love the impact that it has. I mean, it's so there will be some people listening to this and they hear the word NLP, and I think I was a little bit like this as well. Some people absolutely love NLP and they completely get it, and I think some people have this kind of view of it being a tool of manipulation and quite a sort of negative view of that. So I think for us, it's about actually really explaining where this is different.
Well, I mean, the biggest problem in most people is they don't understand something, but they'll create a judgment around it without fully understanding it, without actually going on a journey, without really unraveling where the origins of something come from. So making a judgment is easy because you don't have to do the work. Having an understanding, having experience, knowing is where you've got to go and do the work. You've got to embody it, experience it, know whether it works for you or it doesn't. And where was NLP born from? Pain. 3 people that were born in pain, that had to go through suffering, that had challenges and trauma, PTSD, based upon the wars that they had faced or the upbringing that they had. So the tools were designed from the very beginning. And when you look at Gestalt therapy and how Gestalt therapy came around with Fritz Perls, and from Fritz Perls, how that developed into one of the therapies enabling for trauma, then you move forwards and you say, well, from Gestalt, there's Virginia Satir, and you've got family therapy going on, the mother of family therapy. Then you've got someone like Gregory Bateson, an anthropologist who was looking into social sciences, how humans can develop. Then you have someone like Milton Erickson, who's able to speak in a way that allows you to access your unconscious mind and make shifts and changes at will. So when you look at all of these things and you look at how they were intended to help, how much impact they had, you look at the likes of John Grinder, Richard Bandler, Frank Pusely coming together, creating a series of tools tried and tested over time. They would not put anything out there that wouldn't be tried and tested over and over again. And these things created then a manual for how human beings work. And based upon that manual, they weren't writing everything, but what they were writing is how the mind works and the body works. It was psychology and physiology. Now, what we've done is added the extra element to it, but I'll come to that in a minute. So this is why with anything, it can be used for good or bad. With anything it can. This stuff, when you use it the way we have, in the way we've developed it with the component that was missing, that's what makes the difference, because you cannot use that for bad. You cannot use that to manipulate. You cannot use that to control someone. That comes with a ton of heart, and it comes with a ton of intention. So that's the difference with what we've done. And people who are cynical out there or are questioning or have some doubts, you've got to take a bite. You've got to take a bite. You've got to go and take a bite of something to experience it before any one of us can judge it. Otherwise, we live in a blind world of Goodwill Hunting where we know everything in theory, but not in experience. We are humans. We are not robots. We are programming to, some people are making sure that we're programmed to be robots, but we are humans. Humans are based on experience and designed on experience, and here for experience. We learn through experience. So this is why we have formed something so different. And that's what I'm excited about.
It is. It's amazing. I mean, Jen, you've been you've been practicing as a coach for several years now. Was it
2016 I started my own practice.
2016? Fab. And I mean, where do you, like, obviously we did the 6 days together.
Yeah.
You've done tons of training beforehand. So like, where's the difference for you?
For me, it's absolutely with the extra element that we've added in, to be able to see the results. It's mind-blowing, really. I've always had results with my clients, and I've been very, very proud of what I've been able to achieve with them. But adding this extra element has been game-changing, and it has honestly taken the time down to be able to help people, impact them, help them believe in themselves, help them understand what they can and can't do in a whole new way. So for me, it's super exciting. I absolutely love it.
So what kinds of things is it that are coming up that you're using the ECT tools, the emotional change therapy tools, to deal with?
Well, obviously, the majority of my clients come to me because they're anxious. That's the main driver. But it could be a number of things. And when somebody is feeling anxiety, if you can get to the root cause of that and address that, then their relationships improve. They're better parents. They get the promotions at work. The social life improves, because all these things have been held back through their anxiety. So being able to get to the root cause, and that's why I love NLP and what we do, you can change your life. You can change your life in so many ways, and it has this ripple effect that changes a family, changes a community, changes a friendship group at school. It's amazing how you can see this impact. And, you know, I'm always very proud when my daughter will explain some of the things to her friends that I've taught her. You think, you know, she's 17, bless her, you think she doesn't take this stuff on board. And then I hear her telling her friends, because she knows it works. She's experienced it. So for me, it's the ripple effect of how you can help communities. You start small and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And our aim is to help more than just communities and keep expanding and expanding and expanding. And that's why, for me, it's so exciting.
Love it. Love it. Lewis, you've although you're very fresh-faced, you are a little bit older than 12 and a half.
Yes,
but you've been around this stuff for a long time, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Imran said, these are the types of things that he wish he would have learned when he was a younger age. And I had the privilege of starting to learn this stuff in personal development and NLP at around 21, 22 years old, when I was at a point in my life where I didn't think it could get any worse. So this type of thing saved me. You know, I asked a question one day to myself: is what the hell am I here for? And that's where it all starts, is within you. And this is the greatest thing about ECT. You go there to learn how to help lots of people, and you have this ripple effect, and you're helping communities, you're helping countries, you're helping the world. But it starts from within you. And once you can have that effect on yourself, your heart and your mind, and you can see yourself grow, it's just an amazing experience, and your vision will change. But the greatest thing about it is you don't change, you just become you again. You know, you're here for a reason, but unfortunately this world, it manipulates us through superficial and artificial things. And this is where we stop allowing that to happen. This is the point where we become pure and we actually understand who we are and what we're here for. And this is why I'm so excited about it, because we can help so many individuals, and that ripple effect will just continue, and it'll be a full-blown autonomous thing that's going to happen eventually. So I'm so excited. Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I'm like, oh, I love you, Lewis.
I love you too.
I think the thing is, there's so many things that come up all the time. Okay, so whether it is like Jen, you mentioned your kid, you mentioned your daughter. It's like, you know, stuff comes up with my kids or with their friends, and has done over the years, and you have conversations and you offer support, but you're doing it from a place of like, you've got no tools behind you. You know, you've got no learning behind you, and you just trust your gut and say the things you think you should say and do the things you think you should do. And sometimes, and again, you know, one of the drivers for me to come along to ECT was that I could be making things worse for people rather than better. because I don't know how the mind works. Okay, what I've learned is that probably 80% of what I've been doing has been good and has been the right thing to do, and the intuition is there and all that kind of stuff. But then actually learning the stuff that is that 20% gap is where the power is. And that's why I'm so excited, because I think I've done so many things. I know I've helped a lot of people. I've sat sharing a screen with someone who didn't want to post on LinkedIn, and literally done a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown to push, get them to hit that button. And it's always amazed me the things that hold us back. And it's people will have people have traumas. Okay, they will have experience that they've had in life, and quite often stuff that's happened in their childhood. But sometimes it can be a small thing. It's not that everyone has had some form of, a violent act or an abuse or an accident or whatever else it might be. Sometimes it's just something really small that has just created this idea in your head that that's the way the world works, and we can. In a few minutes, that can be undone. And just taking those few minutes to undo that one thing, now we've got all this possibility. Now we really become limitless. No, it's this is the thing that I'm so excited to be involved with this for that reason. The tiny little changes we can make that stop people having to go and spend hours on end and hundreds, thousands of pounds to sit in a room to just talk. There's nothing wrong with talking therapies, and they have their place. But there is an issue in that they just keep people talking, going round and round in circles, and not actually getting to the other side of things. And I'll be honest, many of you watching this that know me personally, or we've become close from a business perspective, you know bits of my personal story, I'm sure. I've sat in those rooms, I've had those conversations. So when I say you just go round and round, you never really get out of it, that's based on my own experience. Okay, I'm sure there are some people where that works and they do, but so many people, when I have that conversation, we talk about actually accessing therapy, accessing that kind of support. It's very similar stories to my own. And yet, during the 6 days, we're taught so much. So much. One of those tools that we went through, I'm getting really uncomfortable now, can you tell? one of the tools that we were taught, that we went through, I was the demonstration person, and it was I can't even describe that moment. It was just something that I've, like I said, spent hours and hours and hours talking about, in rooms talking about, spent thousands to try and get support for, and it's just done, just dealt with. It is, when I say I'm excited about this, it's just not a big enough word. That's why I've got to say it another 123 times at least.
Question for you, Christina. So once you went through that process, and it was been something that I know you'd been carrying for a long time, how did you feel on the other side of that, considering that this is something you've been living with most of your life?
Do you know what? I felt very free, and I couldn't stop freaking giggling.
Yeah, I remember that.
I still haven't, honestly. It was the next day. It was like a 2-hour drive home, right? And I had to stop for fuel, and I'm paying for my fuel, and I just start laughing. I'm absolutely pissing myself laughing. And there's people in the queue behind me, and I'm I'm so sorry. But it's amazing, the effect that it has. Just actually your lungs feel like they've got twice the capacity. Just even the colours in the world just seem that much brighter. It is because you're not holding on anymore.
Yeah, the tension's gone. And we saw, and this is the thing, isn't it? And it's that famous quote, and you going back to talking therapy, You know, Einstein once said, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Now, what happens in most therapies is you're using the same level of consciousness, you're activated from the same level of consciousness that has created the challenge in the first place. So how do you learn? What we did is we took you away from who you were. We elevated your consciousness. We took you down into a therapy, into a timeline, essentially. But we also got you beyond where you were stuck. We got you beyond where the problem was formed. We got you away from the trapped trauma and see it from a multitude of perspectives. But not just that, you raised your consciousness, you elevated, and you can see it completely differently. And that's why you've let go. And that's why it feels so much lighter, because you're not functioning from that level of consciousness anymore. And it's interesting just to see you shift. We were all witnesses in that, but it was interesting just to see you shift as the process went on and you rise in confidence, in consciousness. You elevated and you made that difference. If it wasn't for you being involved in the process, and I say this again, you cannot enforce someone to change if they don't want to change. You can try and influence them. You can plant seeds, but you were committed to finding the outcome as much as I was. Right? You wanted this to be dealt with. You wanted the done to be undone. You know, and it's really that unraveling. And what it is the mad mess of the mind. And the mind does this. The mad mess of the mind. And the moment we fire and wire these thoughts, we continuously do this. It creates a pathway, but we continuously run that pathway over and over again. And we then believe that we've formed a belief. It gets strong enough, we form a belief, and that belief becomes a opinion or a conviction. Once it becomes a conviction, it's also intrinsically tied to our identity. Once we identify that way, again, the strongest force in the human personality is how we identify ourselves, right? The need for us to identify ourselves. So that forms part of our identity. You shifted that whole identity in that one session. Done. Gone. You could have spoken to someone for the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. You probably would never have shifted your identity in the way that we did. And that just wasn't me and you going through that process. That was everyone involved in the energy that we felt. What did we do? The difference is that we didn't just use the head.
Yeah.
We brought the heart. And when we bring heart, and this is what we do collectively, the difference we make is we bring heart. And when you bring heart into it, you know that the wisdom and the power of the heart is way beyond the power of the mind. That's what made the difference. That's what's going to make the difference in so many people that are suffering and struggling every single freaking day. When you look around, teenagers, adults, people that are wise enough and smart enough to get beyond their challenges and emotional roadblocks, but they can't because they were never taught how. And now we've come up with a system that doesn't allow you to go and spend hundreds of thousands of pounds in many different courses to go and learn tools that you should have been taught when you were so much younger. I mean, this is what I don't get sometimes. You know, in corporations, they need you to go and do a first aid course. Okay, if something happens in a crisis, how about preventing that crisis from happening by putting people on a course that's going to give you the tools and the manual and the first aid for your mental health? How about that? Wouldn't that be such an easier way or better way of actually people development? So this is what we do. We're going to take it out to the world, but we're bringing heart, and that's the difference.
I love it so much. Oh God. I'm like literally normally we have guests on and I'm like and I'm like thinking, right, what am I gonna, I've got the questions ready, and I'm just like, I just want to sit in this a little bit more. Do you know, it's just, and I think this is the thing. This is why it's so powerful, such a powerful experience to be within. Okay, so obviously taking 5 days. So it was 6 days. It's now, we move things around. It's now 5 days going forwards. That's a lot of time to take out of your business though, right? If you don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Is it?
To go from like me giggling like a twat on here to then taking 5 days out of your business, I think that's a big leap.
Well, it depends. It depends what you're taking 5 days out of your business for, doesn't it? For you, there was a very different reason to take 5-6 days out of your business.
Imran, you're missing the link. You're supposed to like tell everyone about Breakthrough Day now.
No, I'm not going to tell. Not yet. Not yet. let's look at perspective for a moment, because even the breakthrough day, and we'll move into that. Even the breakthrough day, we got. I've traveled around the world to go to an event. As a Tony Robbins trainer, I have to travel quite a lot, and I also have to ensure that I'm in different programs. But I want to be there, and I've been in a position, and privileged enough to be in a position where I get to be around the world's best in terms of tools, strategies, coaching, people, energy, heart. I get to experience that. And the reason I do it is because I know that this is tied to my life. I'm not going there just to give. One aspect of it is to give to other people, to help them elevate and get the best and make a breakthrough. But the other aspect is for me to renew, for me to fill up while I'm there. So when I say the reason, it's not about the how, right? It's about the why. And this is why we've put together this breakthrough experience. This is why when people are thinking of what is an experience, how do I go and take a bite? Now let's just think about the times that we're living in. Currently, people are living in, these are uncertain times. Cost of living, crises taking place across the globe, divisions, political challenges that are happening. And these are happening over and over again. And normally we have to bear the brunt of some of the decisions these people make. Now, my question is, where are the real leaders? Where are they? I don't see them. But where are the real leaders? So what do we do when we don't have control? We don't go and chase and try and find it. We create control by creating certainty. And most of us have lived a life where we've lived in uncertainty, and we get certainty in moments. But I'm taking, when you are on shaky ground, you have to be grounded. You have to be certain. You have to be in a position of certainty and belief within yourself, so you have the conviction to see things through. So let me tell you this. This is why we've created the breakthrough experience. And what is the breakthrough experience? It's designed to be able to provide you with a number of breakthroughs so that you can come and take a taste as to what the 5 days, 6 days will really be like. It's designed for you to unravel, take a few layers off. Like we said, the onion, it peels slowly, it peels from the outside. We may just take a couple of layers off there, but I guarantee you through some of the processes, we're going to hit the core, and the core is going to come out. And what happens is there's tears of joy at some point, and that's when your authenticity and your heart comes in. And that will happen on the breakthrough day. We've not had any experience so far where we've left a dry eye in the place.
Tissues everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to witness, right? I mean, we feel grateful the fact that we get to witness this with other people, that we get to be a part of them breaking through their problem into their purpose. We get to do that. We get to experience that. We get to feel that. Jen, I saw you have so many breakthroughs. Lewis, I've seen you at events have so many breakthroughs. Those moments are gonna live with all of us. Christina, I've seen that we've all seen your breakthroughs that you've had in our events over and over again. Phenomenal.
So Angela's from the recruiting gym that I done, one of her coaches. And yeah, literally, I think it was probably about 2 weeks later, we were at an event together. So Angela, thank you so much for that. But it was just, it's hard to put into words the change that it makes. It really is. But other people see it too.
That's beautiful, Angela. Well, Christina, thanks to you, I'm sure there's many people that have noticed the difference in you from last year. We have. I don't know if we're ready to deal with it.
I was like, I can't say what I want to say because we are live streaming. Yeah.
We have to pick up the pieces.
Yeah. So you have to be ready for change. And sometimes the change is, when you change, people around you, they naturally get brought along with the change. But sometimes you might get a bit of resistance from people as well. So there's, it's change is a journey. It's not like, don't think you're gonna, half an hour with Imran and that's it. Life's changed and that's it. You're fixed forever. You never need fixing again. This event. Like I say, coming to the breakthrough, you will feel something there 100%. Off the back of that, you then, I would hope that everyone that comes through the breakthrough will be like, yes, actually, you sign me up. I want to come and experience the full thing. But like I said, the work continues. It doesn't just stop there.
Totally, we're all work in progress. And I've been doing this stuff for years. Even before I started my own practice, I was doing it on my corporate teams for 30 odd years. And there's still stuff, there's always stuff to learn. There's always things that you reveal another layer that needs to be looked at. But you can't find that until you get down to the level that we need to go to. So that's the beauty of it. You can always be improving.
I've just popped into the comments. So on Facebook, they should have gone on LinkedIn as well. If not, Kim should be watching, and Kim will make sure that link appears on LinkedIn as well. A link so you could go ahead and come and join us. So the breakthrough day, the next breakthrough day is the 11th of March. We are going to be we're near Heathrow. I don't know that area very well.
Langley. Listen,
Langley.
you got to say Langley.
I keep saying it's like Slough, isn't it?
Don't say Slough, okay? No, it's not in Slough, everybody. It is in the part closer to the Queen, Windsor, okay? So it's Langley. Yeah. Listen, we got to get used to this, okay? We got to bring it. I love Colin's comment just there about.
Yeah, This is why I'm distracted. Because I want to talk about this. Yeah, go on.
Colin, thank you for that comment, and brother, it's so it's so great to see that reflection in someone else, because this is exactly what many of us have said. Jen, we've done some NLP courses, right?
Yeah.
Lewis, you've learned some stuff in the past too, and I know Christina's looked at it from a marketing perspective when she first got her hands on it, but hey, there was no heart in it. That's what it was missing. It was missing the heart that it was needed. Everything seemed quite logical with NLP. And Colin, I'm sure you agree that it just seemed very process driven. And human beings are not process driven entirely. To go through something that we need to let go of, we've got to get back to being human again. So the heart was the part that was missing. And it actually completes the entire set, because Jen, we've done this how many times now? Like so many times, where we've taken someone through, we add the heart in, boom, changes the entire result.
Totally.
Right? And for most of you who are probably thinking, well, what do you do with the heart? Well, the heart is the doorway to intuition. The heart is the doorway to most of our spirit and soul. The heart is the doorway to our wisdom. And most of us have grown up in believing in that heart is just a muscle. It's not. It's way more than that. Once we introduce you to the science, the recent science that has come out on the heart, it's going to blow your freaking mind. It's going to blow your mind, because that's what it does. The information and the science behind this, that's rock solid science, peer reviewed, that has proven this. The mind is immeasurable compared to the heart. The mind is immeasurable. And what we see now, how we can use, this isn't even therapy, this is real life challenges, and dissolve those very issues and traumas through the power of the heart, changes the entire game. And that's why NLP is great. John Grinder, Richard Brangler, Frank Pusely came up with a great a series of tools, and they still work, 100% work. But when you add heart to it, you elevate its power, its precision, and its proficiency. And that changes the entire purpose. That changes the entire tool. So, Colin, I love that. Thank you for jumping in. So, listen, dude, I want you there, because now.
I was going to say, do you know Colin?
I don't know Colin, but I am going to get to know Colin.
So I sat next to Colin at an event. Colin, when was it? End of last year, and we were talking about this, and I said, Colin, I told you. This was even before I was involved in this stuff, right? Colin, I told you need to come to this bloody thing. Get yourself organised, right? Come to the breakthrough day. I'm like, literally, I'm going to come and drag you kicking and screaming. You need to be there. You need to be there. So Colin is he is working as a he's not a coach. He's a therapist, a counsellor, working within a charity, the lead charity. Brilliant. So, but Colin is I'm forgetting I'm live now. Colin is exactly the sort of person that should be working with us, because he's got a lot of heart already. He's already helping a lot of people, and he could just completely
And
do
this is the beauty,
so
isn't it,
much more with
Christine?
this as well.
This is the beauty. We're looking for not just people that have no experience. We're looking for the people that are either NLP practitioners, NLP diplomas, NLP master practitioners, NLP trainers, people in hypnosis, people in counselling, CBT, healing. The reason why we're looking for these people is because it adds to their existing set of tools. They are already driven, passionate and purposeful about what they do. Adding the heart changes the game. Adding the heart into it. And this is why people like you, Colin, brother, I would love to have you there, because what will happen is you will be able to serve your clients at such a greater level by using these tools. And I guarantee you, sometimes they're so quick. I could resolve something. It's very hard for someone like me to resolve something in 10 minutes. I'll be honest with you, because I seem, as the team of experience, I would love to take that person on a journey. But there's times you need to resolve stuff very quickly, and you can very quickly, efficiently, by using this within 10 minutes, boom, it's knocked out of the park. Because that moment you take them to that position, that problem dissipates, dissolves. And that's it. Your job's done. You can move on. Check, please. that's literally a 10-minute process. Literally a 10-minute process. I went through this just very quickly. I went through this the other day, and someone was having hypertension, going through hypertension. Check their blood pressure. I've sent you guys the screenshots. Check their blood pressure, 170, needs to go to hospital. Literally 5 minutes. Closed your eyes, went through a process, got back up, 130. And they have been trying for 4 days to avoid going to hospital and kept checking their blood pressure. Boom. The heart changes everything, like I said.
It's just amazing. I'm getting comments, or I say comments, messages. So Gary Gary Lincoln, I almost say Gary on LinkedIn. Gary Lincoln on LinkedIn. Mwah, love you. Yes, we will go for coffee. But he's just messaged me. The link's not working, so that's why I was like, I didn't just start playing with my phone halfway through. Well, I did, but for good reason. So I'm just going to pop that in now. He's messaged me again. Gary, you can see I'm live. You're on the live. Come on. And he knows how distracted I get. So there you go. Right. So there is LinkedIn. I've just posted it there. I'll have to post it on Facebook afterwards, because that will my brain will explode if I try and do that now. I can't get the link from my phone to the computer at the minute. Can I just say, this happens on Live Lunch all the time. I just go into like a 30-second Christina moment. I'm back with you now. It's all good though. Lewis, you're not saying a lot. Come on, contribute something.
Yo,
Lewis has a whole load to
Come
contribute. You just got to give me the opportunity.
I can't get a word in edgeways with you, Christina. You know what it's like, eh? Yeah. So this breakthrough day is. Here we go. See what I mean? Come on, interrupt me again. Let's go.
You go. I'll be quiet. I'll mute myself a minute.
We have fun, and that's the main thing. We're enjoying it.
I quite often on this have to mute myself, so I'm going to do that now. Right, just for 30 seconds. Go, Lewis, go.
Fantastic. Right, breakthrough day. In Langley, not Slough. It is going to be an experience, and it'll give you a taste of what these 5 days are going to give you. My personal experience from the 6 days last year, I went in with a vision, came out with a completely different one, which is why I'm here now. And it's changed my life completely. My business is more successful. My emotional health is more successful. And like Christina keeps saying, I'm beyond excited. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And this breakthrough day is going to be a taster that you'll never, ever forget. There's going to be so many breakthroughs. You're going to learn so many tools within that one day that you're not going to want to miss out on these 5 days. It's going to be life-changing for a lot of people. And again, just repeat to what Jen said, that ripple effect will just start to happen. So yeah, don't miss out on it. It's going to be amazing. 11th of March in Langley. Imran's just put the link in again. So yeah, come along and change your life.
That's just the slogan, isn't it? Come along, change your life. That's it.
Yeah, it's got to be.
What was it, Lewis? Dude, because it's interesting with, and this is the reason why you're part of the team, brother. The mission. All four of us would never have got together if it wasn't for our heart, if it wasn't for our pain, if it wasn't for our struggles, if it wasn't for the empathy and the compassion that we have, and we see the world and we see people that have so much potential but are living in so much pain and doubt. And this is why, Lewis, when I saw you, I saw confusion. I saw clarity in certain aspects of your life, but I also saw confusion. I knew how big your heart and mind is. I could see it. I could feel it. I could see the presence of your dad at that point. I could feel that presence. And he's intrinsically linked to you. And I know that you have done your best. He's one of the biggest role models in your life. And you're carving the path beyond the path that he's carved. And that's the ultimate intention. Now, once you realize that, it took you away from business. And this is for all of us here. It took us away from the things that we were looking at, and it put us in the path of the things that we were born to do. That's what it did. And this is why this mission is so important, because this mission is not about the money. It's about making a difference. It's absolutely about making a difference. We are blessed. We have been blessed to be in those environments, to see people shift. I feel with my life, if you could design my life and you saw it from the first decade, I would amount to nothing. Now, imagine how many other people have been given up on in the same way. Imagine how many other people have been born in pain, born in suffering, and their world is full of suffering and struggle and emotional challenges without the emotional intelligence to apply to see life through a different lens. The problem is when we see life through the prism of pain, we don't paint a good picture. And that's what I had. But if we can see life through the prism of purpose, and we can look back and say, well, what was all that for? And one day you end up at a Tony Robbins event and you are unraveling all of those moments. And Lewis, we went through this at Unstoppable as well, right? At our event, we looked at this, we unraveled so many of those moments. And then we got to the core and we got to realize where the mission is, where it came from and where it's going. And this is why I believe I am so happy to share this journey with you, because I know that our hearts are in the right place. Our intention is to make a difference. And the power that we all bring will actually give people the reason and the purpose to follow things through and go through processes. I've just seen so much heart here in terms of community, in terms of love, in terms of people reaching out. You know, even when we finished the course, you know, Jen, I feel for you, my dear. I know that you had weeks and weeks and weeks of consistent coaching and training after that for people who wanted to reach out. And this is what I mean. We bring heart. We bring heart. No other company is going to bring heart.
It's such a privilege to be able to work with people and see the difference that you can make in them. And for me, that would always keep us fighting to make sure this goes out to as many people as possible, because being able to watch those shifts is magical. Absolutely magical.
Yeah, and I think as well, like you say, Imran, the community side of things, it does continue. It carries on after these 5 or 6 days, and you connect with every single person in there, and you feel the changes and you feel the energy, and to continue that and to have that community throughout the rest of your life and to have that support as well, it's amazing. And you all share your successes and you become successful together in whatever way you want to use this work on your journey. You've got that support and that community, which I absolutely love.
Guys, we are coming up to time. We need to wrap this up. I don't want to, though, is kind of a problem. But we do need to wrap. We do need to wrap it up. There's 2 things I didn't tell you. So firstly, just before we finish, we have to do a wave and then someone will take a screenshot. Kim's there in the background to take a screenshot. It's just this thing that we do. And when we end the live, don't just stay here for a minute. You don't need to jump off as well. I should have told you that too. But as always, Green Umbrella Live Lunch, we've always said there is no planning in this. In fact, you guys have had more planning than anyone's ever had in 143 episodes. So there you go. But yeah, I'm like, so normally I'm like all full of energy and wrapping it up and going like, and I'm just back in my Zen place full of love again now, just talking to you guys. I love it. But yes, so just before we finish, breakthrough day, 11th of March in Langley, which is
in Langley.
Actually, I wonder if I can find the comment quickly. Jane commented. So Jane's well posh. Right. So she used to. So if Jane thinks it's posh, it definitely is. Like Jane has pictures of the Queen on her desk and stuff like that because we put them there. She's like, not, you know. Anyway, see, I get distracted all the time. It's brilliant. Everyone loves me for this. The links are in there in the comments. Please, please, please come and join. If the link doesn't work, if you're watching this, you're on one of my channels, just drop me a message and I'll make sure you're sorted, make sure you're on there. If you can't do the 11th, drop me a message. I'll tell you when the other dates are. Really, like, honestly, I just want you all to come along. It's just come along, open mind, open heart, have the experience, and yeah, hang out. Right, we've got to go. That's the Green Umbrella Live lunch done. Thank you so much for taking the time today to come and join me and to help me share this news and help me release this to the world. I've been dying to tell people and just trying to hold it back. So yes, thank you. And for everyone watching, thank you so much. I will get these guys to put links in comments and that kind of thing so you can connect with them directly, follow them on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn and stuff as well. So we'll make sure you've got everything will be in there. It'll be Facebook will think we'll start spamming the hell out of it with all these links. But there you go. I don't care. It's my show. But yes, we will be back next Thursday at 12 noon for the Green Umbrella Live lunch. It will be back to normal. Mark, Jane will be back. I'll be here being naughty as always. Nicole will be bringing the news and Molly will as well. Mark probably won't say anything. Jane will have a list of things because she's always prepared. It will just be like, yeah, normal Green Umbrella marketing conversation next Thursday at 12 noon. But until then, I will see you later. And guys, this is where everyone has to wave. Imran, wave.
Can you see me?